to the tea table. Today we're going to take a look at 3 Arceus decks. They're all lists that I think can be really good. They just need some fine-tuning. I didn't practice with them enough to feel comfortable. Stuff like that. So we're going to look at Ditto VMAX, Rillaboom, and Inteleon Vmax. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Ditto VMAX. So what you're going to see about these deck lists is all the trainers are pretty much the same. So we won't go too in-depth on that. But we will take a look at the support Pokemon I chose and everything. So, my friend Thomas, T Brophy 21 on Twitter, I was like, yo, what if we play Ditto? And Cash, Andy, Patrick, everybody in my group chat on Twitter was like, yo, Ditto kind of neat. Ditto can do whatever you want. It's a Ditto. So, most people know the basic Ditto V. You can swap it with a Pokemon in your discard pile that is a V. You do keep damage and everything, but if it's been out of turn and you swap it with a V that can evolve, you do get to evolve it. But Ditto V has its own evolution. Ditto VMAX, the giant blue blob. So, its attack for 3 colorless is choose one of your active Pokemon's attacks and just use it. So obviously that's not going to be super good against Mew. Or like Mad Party, stuff like that. But if you face Duraludon, you can copy their attack and go. And the bonus is their attack goes through everything, so you can have a double turbo and copy it. You can copy other Arceus. You can copy Gengar. You can copy basically anything that doesn't have an attack based on like Eternatus, that kind of a thing. And the best part is that it is colorless. You can Charon's Carrot. So in testing, I had him like, all right, here's my Ditto. It's got 320. Boom bop. You did like 250. I'm going to pick it up, knock you out with Arceus, and you're kind of starting the clock over with. The downside of Ditto is the Ditto V has 170. So if you attack with Arceus and you do power up the Ditto, it can be a free knockout, but a lot of times they have to take care of the Arceus V, so you don't have to worry about it too much. So let's see what I paired with those 2 cards. So we do have 2/2 Babarrel. I love Babarrel. Draw into F5. It's just a cool card. I love it. We got Dunsparce, as your whole deck is basically weak to fighting. So you kind of do need Dunsparce. I was thinking 2, but we do have the Ordinary Rod. I got Crobat to draw. Now, you have room for like a 1/1 whatever. So it doesn't have to be what I chose. But I did choose Espeon V and Espeon VMAX. So, Espeon V for 1 Psychic just does 62 V, which is cool. But Espeon VMAX, its ability, prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to your Pokemon that have energy attached. Which is really good against, like, Beedrill, that people have been playing a lot of. At the regional, I did get someone with it. They're like, attack. I'm like, okay, I'm not knocked out. It also is Psychic, so if you are facing a fighting deck like Urshifu, it can take care of the weakness part. It also has attack Max Mindstorm for a Psychic and 2 colorless. It does 60 for each energy attached to all your opponent's Pokemon. So your opponent does an Arceus attack. They have like 5 to 6 energy in play. So you're going to knock out their Arceus easy. And since it is energy and not energy cards, double turbo does count as 2. Plus, look how adorable this card looks. Really great. But again, you can put anything. So this is not a, you have to play Espeon. I just think Espeon's really good because it has 2 useful parts, and it being Psychic does help a lot. So you got the trainers, pretty standard, 4 Quick Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Evolution Incense, you got the Ordinary Rod, you got the 2/1 Stadium, Pat to the Peak, because I understand it shuts off your Dittos, but that's fine, because most of the time you're going to evolve it anyway. You just got to be careful you don't shut yourself off, like if you're playing a Beedrill deck, Espeon, it won't work and it will get awkward. And then we got Collapse Stadium. 4 bench is just, it's annoying sometimes. It can take Mew down, slow down Mew. Playing an Eternatus and you don't have the path. Like, it's just a win more card's really good. And if you're playing against, like, Jolteon and they hit you and you don't want to get knocked out, you can Collapse Stadium and then discard one of the damaged Pokemon. Now, I do usually play Manaphy in the decks that I play. But for testing purposes, I did take it out, and it's been fine. I mean, if you hit Jolteon, you hit Jolteon, right? The supporters are 3 Boss's Order, 2 Charon's Care, which again can pick up Ditto and Arceus. The 3 Marnie, because Marnie Path. 2 Research, and 2 Raihan. You could definitely go to 1 Raihan and put in like an Avery, or another Research, another Marnie, a Palpat even. Definitely a flex supporter spot, but I love Raihan. I think that card is really, really good. It gets you back in the game. If your opponent, turn 2 knocks out your Arceus or whatever, you can hit him right back, and you didn't really miss a beat. Then we got 2 Air Balloon and 2 Choice Belts, 4 Double Turbo, which is like super beneficial because it's not just Arceus that takes it. It's literally Ditto and Espeon take it as well. And then 6 Psychic, which depends on the 1-1 line you do. You can play Shaman V-Star, I've seen. I was talking to someone, they did Whimsicott V-Star. I mean, you can just do whatever you want, which is really cool. So let me know below what you think might be a good other Pokemon to play in part of Espeon. And with that being said, we'll move to our second deck, which is going to be Rillaboom. And here we have Arceus with Rillaboom. Not Rillaboom VMAX, which I did think about. This is actually the Stage 2 Rillaboom that saw a lot of play with Row Eggs. So, Rillaboom's ability is once in your turn, search up for 2 Grass Energy cards, attached to one of your Pokemon. Now, you do see in the deck list here, we don't have a Stage 1, because you want to use the Starbirth ability to search out Rare Candy and whatever you're missing. And once you do that, you're good to go. So, we got the Arceus. We do got the Ditto, because you'll see in a second we got a couple of Zarudes going on. We got the usual Dunsparce. We got the Crobat. We do got the Lumineon, which is a card I like to include, but I often think it's my 61st card. But in this list, I did fit it in. And then we got 2 Zarude Vs. So this Zarude does 30 and 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Sure. You start with it against Mad Party, knock out a Sinistea. Pretty cool. It's got Jungle Rage. If your opponent's active as a V, it does 240. Now, that can be pretty powerful, actually. There's been a few times where I'm just like, alright, Jungle Rage, we did it. Knockout. Like, you got a Choice Belt 270, alright. And then we got this other Zarude V. So, for 2 colorless, 50, your opponent can retreat, sure. But for 100, for 2 grass, you may attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your hand to your bench Pokemon any way you like. If you attach the energy of those Pokemon anyway, heal all damage. So, as you will see later in the list, we got a random wacky combo we could do with that, besides just attacking. But let's jump into the trainers. So, you got the 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Quick Ball, 2 Evolution Incense. You got Energy Recycler to put the basic energy back. And I have an Energy Retrieval for Zarude. I've kind of been debating if I want that card or not. Like, I don't miss it, but I'm like, when I do need it, it's really, really good. So, it's one of those things. You could easily drop it for whatever you want. We got the 2 Rare Candies, like I said. We got the 2 Switch, we got 2 Patsa Peak, and then we have Skater's Park. So it says whenever either player's active retreats, basically, if I retreat for 2 and I discard 2 basic energy, they go back to my hand. So, which can combo with Zarude. So if your Arceus gets damaged, or your Zarude, or whatever it is, so you retreat for 2 grass, you bring up the Zarude, you attack for 100, which could possibly get a knockout depending on math for what else you did, and you attach them back to your Pokemon, and it's like a chair and scare, but you don't got to pick your Pokemon. This card's really cool. I want to, but Patsa Peak's also really good. It's definitely a thing. I even thought about going 2 of the Zarude where you can heal instead, or maybe a random grass attacker, like putting in a Shaman or something. Unsure about that one, but I'm still in the testing phases, like I said. You could drop the energy retrieval for anything. Who knows? You could even try one of the other Rillabooms. I mean, this Rillaboom's really cool. It just looks cool, but you're never going to use it. Then we got the original other Rillaboom. Does 10 each opponent's bench. Like, I don't know. Probably wouldn't do that, but you can pick any grass Pokemon. Doesn't even have to be grass, really. You can pick like Double V if you're feeling it. For every prize your opponent's taking. Anything you want. The world is your oyster. So, we have the 4 Research, 3 Marnie, 2 Boss, a Raihan. We got Air Balloon, Big Charm, and 2 Choice Belt. Now, I've been thinking about dropping Big Charm for Cape of Toughness, so that when I have to bring up those Zarudes, because they're kind of fragile at 220 and 210, they don't get knocked out. So, like, 260 is pretty clutch. We only got 2 Double Turbo because we do have the Rillaboom, because after the first attack, you really don't need it too much. And then we got the 8 Grass Energy. So this deck is going to be the most fun, because if you attach like a Grass and go first, and you can get the turn 2 Rillaboom, with Choice Belt, it opens up the 230 plays, which is good against other Arceus and stuff like that. And you don't have to worry about getting a Choice Belt against like a Jolteon or something like that. That way you can take a knockout easier. And the 230 is like against Gengar, Urshifu, Suicune. Like, it's so good not having to have the damage reduction that sometimes your best play is just attaching Grass Energy. My thoughts on this deck are, this is a deck, if we had League Cups, I'm sleeving this in 2 seconds. This is also a list. I'm thinking I'm going to Indianapolis. I'm going to put a lot of work in to see what I could do with it and what other cool grass Pokemon combinations I could come up with. Again, in the comments, let me know if you think of any of the grass Pokemon or other strategies I could do with this deck list. And now we're going to move on to the third list, which is going to be Intellion. Alright, here we have Intellion, but not the one you're thinking of. We got Arceus with Intellion Vmax. So the Pokemon line is going to look a lot closer to the first deck list I posted in the video with Ditto. But let's see what we're doing. So we got Intellion V, 42 a Pokemon for 1 water. That's not even bad. I'm going to be honest. That's not even bad. Also looks cool. Then we're going to move to Intellion VMAX, the regular non-rapid strike one, which does 60. You put an energy back in your opponent's hand, and then 160 for 3, 60 to 1 their bench. Like, nobody's really playing Manaphy, so that's pretty clutch, realistically. All you're going to run into Lightning mostly is Jolteon, and this card, I think, is underrated. Very underrated. But then I do have 2 of the Rapid Strike ones. So you've basically seen the Rapid Strike one in the Cheryl Can't Knock Me Out deck. But we do have it in this one, because you got Double Gunner. So it says you must discard a water energy to use this. You do that, you put 2 damage count on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon, which can fix. It's like having the quick shooting Inteleon, but you do it twice. It can be really clutch. It's been great. I debated on how many of each one to play, like 2 of the other one. I started out with none of this one, but I quickly moved to 2 of it. And also, if you have the Gmax Spiral, it does 140 for 2, basically. And that's pretty good. So, I think I'm going to end up sticking with 2 and 1. I still want the other one because 160 is really good, especially against single prize decks. You could start taking double prizes if they don't get their Manaphy out or if they even play Manaphy. I really like that. So, the trainers, we got the ball lineup like every other deck. We got Energy Retrieval because you're going to be discarding waters. I know I have 2 Training Court, but I want it another way to do it. So I don't have to have the stadium. We do got the 1 Pat, 2 Training Court. We got 2 Boss, 1 Care, 2 Marnie. We have 2 Melanie because you could discard water. Boom, Melanie, get the water back. The 3 Research, Raihan, the Air Balloon, Big Charm, Choice Belt, 3 Turbo, and 8 Water. So I think about this deck list. There is we got Zigzagoon, Punkaboo, Dunsparce, and Barrel, which could warrant a scoop up net, but I'm not sure how to fit it in. Energy Retrieval was a scoop up net. The Punkaboo, it's kind of like an insurance policy, because you saw it wasn't in any other list, but this is the one where I'm trying it out. Might be the worst one, I don't know. As for the stadiums, I did want to do Training Court because of the ability. I don't want to do Collapse Stadium because that could get rid of damage on their side. Like if I'm getting close to a knockout, I don't want them to have to I don't want me to make them discard their Pokemon. I want them to have to do it. The Zigzagoon is also for wacky math. Again, a scoop up net would be really cool. I'm not quite sure what to drop. I thought about doing a 2-1 Inteleon, but a lot of the times I end up with like both kinds of VMAXs in play, and I like that. I was even thinking about dropping Crobat because we can get the barrel out. I don't know, because I don't only have like 4 Quick Ball, 3 Ultra Ball, 3 Incense. I might do 4 Quick Ball, 2 Ultra Ball, 3 Incense in the end, so I don't have to discard more cards, even though it does kind of come with a barrel. Unsure on that one. This is the deck I just started. I played like 15, 20 games with it. I think I'm like basically even as I work out the kinks on the list. I think this is a really cool one because Inteleon has always had so much potential, but you have to play with Frostmoth, and then the new one, you've done the Cheryl thing, but that just hasn't quite panned out, which is wild. I think mostly because of Mew, because it could one-shot it, kind of a thing. But this is a deck list that I will be playing at least 50 to 60 more games left, and hopefully I'll be able to post some updates on Twitter on that one. And with that being said, that was our 3 deck lists today. We got Ditto, Rillaboom, and Inteleon. Let me know which one was your favorite, which other combinations of Arceus you want to see, and drop a like on this video if you're an Arceus stan. And if you're feeling like it, drop me a subscribe, and I will see you next time on the Tea Table.